Hey, YouTubers, we're back. I've had a fuel odor on this sucker for a while now. I can smell it right now. I got a pretty good nose, and I'm gonna say it's. Thinking my fuel bowl is gasket might be just seeping. But first things first, I'm gonna pop my fuel line off, which yes is held by a zip tie because it was leaking. Because that clamp was no good. So I thought that was it, but I'm still getting it. So I'm going to pop this off and see if it's supposed to have a vacuum that starts the flow of fuel. So if I have a continuous drip after I drain this, that might just be my problem there. It might be the actual vacuum petcock, which is up under the tank. But I'll pop that line off, drain that, and I'll let you know. Alright, that appears not to be it. I've got very, very little out of this. And it's not dripping. Let's crank it, see if it... I mean, obviously it works because it runs. Let's see what we get. I gotta hit the brake, don't I? Oh, excuse me. There we go. And there we get start of flow. Starts to leak, which is good, and it stops. It says that vacuum diaphragm at the top here is definitely working. Alright, so I'm going to go with the fuel bowl leaking. I'll take the carburetor off. Anyone wants to do that, it's just going to be a couple vacuum lines, the other side to keep the cable, yada yada yada. Okay, I might as well walk you through it. This hose clamp, take that off. I'm going to take it off of the air box, and I believe there's another hose right here, another one at the bottom, and then you can walk that out of the way. Hey, you got more visual here. Loosen this nut just so you can get the cable off the throttle cable off there. And then, oh, look at that, I do have a fuel leak coming from, what was this hose going to? Why does it have fuel in it? Oh, you know what that is? It's coolant. This is a coolant line to the carburetor, isn't it? I run coolant through the carburetor to cool it. Yeah, because that's not gas. I was wondering why that was going down. Yeah, that goes to the radiator. That's a coolant line. I took that off on the other side below the fuel line. Okay, so anyway, back to that. Cable there, cable, hose, and then there's another Phillips right here. Take the whole carburetor right off. And we'll get to that. Actually, leave this one where it was. Take this one all the way off so that you can snake it out of there. See what I'm saying? Take the cable off. Loosen that rubber hose clamp. And then just wiggle out the old carburetor. I think I may have obviously got my electric for the bi-starter. Can unplug those. And I do have one more vacuum line right here, which is easy enough to take off. And other than that, it's going to come right out. But I need two hands side of the carburetor. One coming down from the gas tank went to here. And there's a lower one here going to the evap or something, purge. We gotta pop that one off. And there we have it. I am looking. I don't see this. I'm getting wetness this tube right here, dead center, goes to the evap system, emissions. That's kind of wet. The hose that it runs down, show you over here, right here, got quite a bit of fuel on it. It's an old hose, up, and it goes to the purge valve, which I've taken off and tested. That was the first thing I tested. I show it right there on the, because I was getting fuel odor. And it's definitely down by the engine. It's not up in my tank. I stick my nose. I have a really good nose for this, which is good. Definitely over here. So I think I'm going to run this a new line, get some new rubber. I do want to do that bowl gasket, because when I did this carburetor, I didn't take it apart. I didn't have a gasket, but I have this number, I'll show you the tube. It's like a number 2 Forma gasket. It's a non-hardening, and you can use that on a fuel bowl gasket. All right, get there. This is the stuff, Forma gasket, number 2, flexible, blah, blah, blah. Another thing about, there is a special Phillips. You can't use your normal Phillips for a lot of Japanese carburetors and stuff. I don't know if you're aware, but look at that. See that? That's not a normal Phillips. That's a fucking special. I use this for everything, actually. This is the best Phillips for not stripping anything. There's various names for these bits, but they are different. And I highly recommend a good set of Phillips bits so you don't strip anything. Cool. All right, pull the gasket off. Yeah, you can see it right there. Look at how flush that is. That surface. That rubber is pretty flat, you know. I'm not getting a good seal on my, for sure. I think it was the back corner, which would be that one. It's upside down, yeah. You can actually see how, this is the detective comes in. You can see all the wetness. And because it's so right on the engine, it burns off immediately. But you're just definitely getting an odor. And they float. I always wondered about this because looking at it sitting on the bike, it doesn't sit horizontal. It's actually cocked up a bit. That's how pretty much how it sits on the engine, not level. So I wonder if they take that into account when they set floats. I probably should check it. I'll look up the specs for that. You can measure to see if it's falling the right distance. And the only other thing is that, all right, fine, I'll use a tripod. Jesus. Some fresh razor blades, 99-cent store. Let's see if we can peel this out nicely, see what we're dealing with. Yeah, this is shit. Ooh, this thing's hard as a rock. Yeah, look at that. That's fucking... Can you see that? This thing won't even come out in one piece. Normally you can reuse these and just, there we go. Yeah, it's just too compact. I'm gonna fill it with my buddy the Forma gasket. Go from there. Alrighty. Alright, good dousing of Carb Clean, razor blade. Ugh, I hate working like this. Literally in a garage, using the scooter as a workbench. This is something to do on a bench in a clean area. I got cars driving by, dust coming in. So, not my ideal situation, but I get it. You got to do what you got to do. It's just not what I'm used to in life. Anywho, let's play with this giant tube. Next time you order something on Amazon, make sure you don't get the 11-ounce size mic. Although this, if it doesn't harden, maybe this will last a few years, actually. All right, I went pretty excessive here. Definitely don't want to recommend that because you don't want it to get inside the bowl. So, but just make sure you clean up the excess. And see that it all came out what I thought was excessive. So you do have to let this dry for about 2 minutes, it says. And then obviously it's going to squeeze out and just hopefully not into the bowl. So I'm just going to take my time, go from there. I've actually been going around with the clean screwdriver and just pushing it down in that groove. That way I know I definitely have a good amount in there. So I got a good bead, letting it get tacky. Like I said, just try and clean out the bowl area. You don't want it in the bowl. And think about the surface. It's very tight tolerances is going to be attached. And it's not very tight screws at all either. So should work. Seen other guys do it on the YouTube on a small engines. And this is a small engine, so should be cool. I think we're getting tacky. Yeah, I'll go a little bit more. Tackier the better. Cool. Alright, let's see what happens. I'm thinking maybe even I'm going to use the wrong screwdriver just to get these started. FYI. Maybe even let this sit. Not even tight. Maybe I'll just let it sit a little bit. I have not used this stuff before in this Forma seal. But well, this guy said it works great, so I've always been get the gasket, but I think a set that comes with a carburetor rebuild kit would be $30 or $40 for this. And this is if I can even get it anymore. I don't know. I did last time I looked. I don't think they had these for the 150. It's just a key-in carburetor, but that's just squeezing out there. I think I'm going to leave it like that and do this, finish this up later. Let it dry a little bit. I'm going to read the label again about what it said. It says, dry in a few minutes till material becomes tacky. Assemble, tighten, wipe excess. To get it off your hands, use alcohol. I guess I could tighten it up. It's been about 5-10 minutes. I waited a little longer. I'm going to tighten it up, but I'll think I'm going to wait a little bit before putting it back together. I think I'll get some new fuel line to run. That's the other thing with the fucking California fuel is these lines become hard as rock. They're like plastic now. And if you get the rubber lines, they also get eaten away. So I don't know what the best line is. Maybe I have some good rubber line that I did for the KZ 400. Maybe I have some of that left, but I don't think it's the same diameter. Now let's go see what I got for inventory. So far, so good. Pulling off a little oil. What can I do? I checked the oil and made a mess, I guess. Anywho, I've always said the carburetor isn't level. Well, I think once you sit on it, the suspension levels it out. Now that I think about it, it's fairly level right there. And I'm on the kickstand, so I think it's going to be good. I don't smell anything. A little wetness there, but I think that's from the carb cleaner. Cool. Another job well done.